when we left off with everyone else situated in this circumstance, a few things happened overnight. One of the things was that, Ray heard a gust of wind and decided to do nothing. Morthos heard a gust of wind and decided to do nothing, but looked around the streets, around the walls, peering through the very veil of nature itself. Couldn't find a thing. Q was also there, contemplating on what to do next. Zold was having fun with his wife. Uh, decide what that means on your own dime. And he also got a rather abrupt. Yes, Q was also getting drunk. Well, no, Q was watching Zen get drunk. More on that later, maybe.
A few sips from hers.
Yeah, fair enough. Zold did manage to get a rare, mysterious note for some reason or another telling him to be wary of the crying children. What that means, you may or may not have interpreted it at this point as when you entered into this facility, you did find two individuals here that resembled children surrounded by monsters. However, they weren't afraid, rather, they were playing along, and the monsters were just simply there. The area around you seemed to be filled with scientists, as you're kind of in a self-guiding tour. You can communicate and talk with anyone you'd like, and you did so for some time. You found out that the giant boar monster that is now submerged into the tank pool, because I now realize that token's also gone, is currently being reconstructed. Some of the people that you met before had to leave and got replaced by other automaton and other people. Because that's the only way I can explain me screwing up and tokens appearing just overlapping one another. There's that. Now, with that said motion and everyone else just observing what they learned, Q about monster reformation on a already stabilized body frame, Morthos realizing that there's an individual here that they might have met before, Zold hanging around and observing that there's a giant, massive creature in that strange vortex pool, and Ray. Well, Ray learned a few new things, whether they not decide to share about the construction and artificial creation of things, as well as what exactly is going on here. While you don't have 100% accuracy, you're kind of the best one with the most information so far. How you interpret it, though? Well, that's up for you to decide. And that's where we start once more.
Alright. So, by now I've walked the perimeter of the room, having used my ghostly gaze, and saw said creature in here.
With your ghostly glaze.
Glaze.
And the English has left the building.
With your peering eyes, I'm just going to change the language. You do see, in fact, something emanating from that distance. Something a lot more dangerous than you would care to observe, but it is there. It was there, and it probably still is, but you can't see it again.
Yeah, so by now that's ended, and I'm back here with Zold and Cerulean.
Yes, you are.
Oh my god.
Let's begun. Gonna make sure that Zold and Cerulean are the only ones that will hear me. We have a big issue.
What's that?
First off, well, I have the ability to see through solid objects for a short amount of time. In the orb, I saw a giant freaking monster, and it looks like it would be a bit of a challenge, more so probably than what we faced before. But
It's the same one I saw then.
yeah, if you set kind of just walk with me this way a little bit and peer around this door. Do you recognize that gentleman up there by the computer thing? Well, I don't know, it's computer. By that, whatever it is.
I do.
Wasn't he part of the Chaos Insurgency group from when we were in Hell?
I'd say we should attack, but I'm not sure about what's going on in the center of this room. It makes me
Yeah.
comfortable.
Well, we don't want to blow our cover at the moment.
Just so you know, tokens aren't moving. I just need to get rid of the no longer functioning tokens that apparently I can still mess with. Which makes no sense. Sorry, I'm being belligerent.
I'll go speak to Ray about it and let her know. It's just another tiefling, like always, you know, with a dogma.
Wait, what? He's a fawn, or whatever those fey creatures are.
Satyr?
Satyr, thank you.
Right.
Just the amount, just how offended you sounded right there.
We were talking about things yesterday, so it's still bright in my mind.
But anyway, so I'll go speak with Ray and let her know. Because we're in a bit of a situation, I think. Not a
Yeah,
good
we
one.
needed some sort of distraction. And we need to decide what's priority number one.
Right. I mean, I think priority one is, in my opinion, is that guy. Because they're the ones causing all the crap to happen.
You do know that the boss is coming in at 5, visiting hours until 12 to 3. Currently it's around noonish, so like 12, because you got here at 12. You do need to make an appointment to see the boss, but depends on what you want to do.
Maybe it's best if we make this appointment. Maybe there will be less people here. Maybe the people in the center there, those children, maybe they'll be somewhere else.
Yeah, I don't really.
In the
Like the
meantime, we
thought.
can contact Phil and tell him what's going on.
Why don't you pass the information on to Phil and I'll speak with Ray and Q.
I don't think our communicators reach that far, do they?
Oh no, they don't.
It was gonna have to be Ray or Q that sends a message.
Oh, we should probably get our regroup and Zen's all the way down here in the corner.
I'll speak to the robot lady and see about getting a appointment scheduled.
Alright, I'll round everyone up.
Hello, yes, Mancho.
The woman next to you that replaced the other two, since she didn't have to do anything, looks towards you with the metallic arm simply gesturing towards you. Is there something I can help you with, sir?
Yes, the boss man. We were told to make the appointment to speak with him.
Oh, sure. I mean, I suppose I can make it for you. usually talk with the people up front, but that's fine. I can just make the paperwork myself. She then.
Oh, 1,000 apologies. I was not aware. If it is befitting of your station, it's no problem.
It's not an issue. Just haven't done this in a while. She takes a clipboard from the side and then rummages through a desk drawer. All right, I think it's this one. Name, place of business, and referring to what you would like to speak to him about. Is it some type of job you're looking into?
Yes, my name is Zoltan. I am the proprietor of the Busty Buxom Bee House. We believe that we might have a mutual interest in affairs that are best spoke behind closed doors.
I see. Huh. She stopped writing after you named the mention of the proprietary. Um, if you want, you could have found that said business in the city, or you can just say you're making up the name.
I'm making that up. It's just supposed to sing.
Okay. Either way, it's believable enough in this type of city and certain sections of this that it could be true, but she wouldn't know it. But on that option, she does state, right. She stopped writing stuff down after that said name, and then she states, this isn't really more of. All right. All right. Security matters. That should suffice. Let's see. Zoltaire, security matters, and time of meeting.
When is his next available appointment?
He does have one around 8 p.m. tonight, but before then he does have one just 15 minutes though, at 6:15.
Well, we can schedule for the 15 minutes one, and if he deems us worthy of his time, I'm sure that he might find it in his heart to extend it.
Well, after that he has a meeting, but he is the boss, so he can. Some dishes break in the background. No. Actually, I'm not even sure you can hear that anymore. Regardless, you do. She does state. Well, you can always make sure that. Well, he is the boss, and they have to wait for him. That should be fine. Anything else?
No, mademoiselle, that'll be all. Thank you very much.
Right. She goes and looks towards her companion. Can you deliver this to the man up front, and then afterwards we'll see if it's available. Sure. The woman comes over, comes back, and goes, it should be fine. The 15 minutes is a small window, but as long as they're here, that shouldn't pose a problem, but they can't be inside the building, of course. Of course. And they give you a slip of paper indicating your availability and appointment.
Of course, we will be early so as to not mistake our time.
The woman that you were speaking with then states, that's perfectly fine, you're just not allowed inside.
What time will we be permitted entry?
It says so on the slip. It says when on the slip.
And I'll look at the slip real fast.
It says, I believe it was 6:15.
Oh dear, so we've no time to adjust ourselves. Problematics, but with adversity we shall triumph.
Well, they'll call you in once it reaches said time, and then that shouldn't be an issue.
Of course, of course. Thank you for your time, mademoiselle.
Right. Then they go back to the dunking process of said machinery work.
So after our conversation, walk over to Ray and still keeping it down. Ray, we have some issues. We need to go. Can you get Q and I'm gonna go get some.
Yes, I suppose I can handle that.
We'll explain everything when we're out of the area. And keep going, kind of look at the creature, as I walk past to get Zen.
All right.
And then same thing, Zen. Well, I don't know. Was she going by a different name? Can't remember.
No.
Hey Zen, we gotta go now.
All right. To be specific, she hasn't actually been using a name. She's just been dancing around that subject.
Okay, but either way, be like, hey, it's time for us to head out.
Oh,
We have another event to get to.
all right. She does gesturally bow towards these two. They do nod, not sure why she's bowing. Oh, and then the woman behind him goes, must be a custom in this city. After all, they don't exactly care for tieflings. That makes sense, I suppose. He then looks towards Zen, air quotes. It's perfectly fine if you just treat us the normal way. It's not exactly as if we were from here. At least most of us aren't. Oh, all right. She doesn't bow, but she continues forward, just waving.
Yeah, so regroup with everyone else.
All right. She regroups.
Ray will approach Q and say, Q, it seems the others wish to leave. They said they would tell us why later. You're done here?
Can you hear me? Hello?
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry, Mike. Alright, give me a second and I'll join you guys.
Ray nods and waits.
All right.
She'll just finish her little game up that she was playing with the kids, and then tell them she'll be back later, maybe to if she's allowed to visit them.
Little kid's nod. The pink-haired one, the one that's only able to speak because the other one can't, goes, okay. If you go past 3, though, you're not allowed to visit anymore.
Yeah, that's what they said.
I mean, some people sneak in, but they say it's to do their work, but they don't have pieces of paper.
Oh, really? Alright. Do you know who?
She shakes her head no.
Okay. Well, I'll see you guys, at that point. I'll be back. Y'all have fun.
They wave at you as small children would. As you regroup with the rest of the team is currently likely conversing, but it's entirely up to you what you're conversing about. As far as I know, you're just simply conversing on how to take down the little children first, and then so forth and so forth from there.
See, they still have a soft spot in the back of their skull.
Go fuck yourself.
Nah,
I ain't killing no
regrouping, you do manage to communicate to that Q is now with you.
kids. Even in a fantasy world, I will not kill kids.
We may not be given the choice.
The worst I might do is set off an EMP, and I'm not sure how the one would react, but
Right.
All her life support systems turn off.
that's a yikes.
Ooh, whoops.
That's oops.
So what's going on?
We will speak about it when we are back at the establishment. The time will come.
Num num num.
So you head back to the bar. You technically still have like, yeah, it's not technically nighttime yet, so you still have it for like another 3 hours.
We
Yeah.
can go there, or we can just like head away. We just need to be out of the local area, is all.
Okay, I'll just copy and then paste you on a street or something. I just get you guys are near the canal, so I'll just put you in the canal streets. There's no one there because I did not know when you were gonna get there. I'll
And
just
it's
This is
put
a
you on a stream.
big ass map.
Well, you should all be there. And you should probably change the tempo of this song. Arriving out of nowhere, you do manage to get back outside of the street without too much of an issue. The building to your adjacent left is the building you just came from, but it's supposed to be circular, but this map didn't have a circular structure.
Feels bad.
Eh.
But yeah, just for the sake of brevity, we'll montage explaining to Ray and Q what we saw.
All right. One montage away, someone grows super strong and powerful. It shows by them wearing a hat now.
You can tell time has passed because they have a 5 o'clock shadow.
And now, one time montage later of information gathering and pooling all resources. You probably have everything unless someone states, no, I don't tell them this and this. Okay, Q attacks something.
No, I pull 3 little balls out of a little sack that's tied to my belt and toss them out, and 2 boars and a giant rat come out.
Born rat.
2 boars and 1 rat, giant rat.
What are you doing?
Bringing some friends.
2 giant boars or just a boar?
Let's see. I think it's just regular boar.
Okay.
Different bag has the giant boars.
I don't know if they'll be welcome where we're going. Weren't we heading to a meeting with someone?
We have a bit of time before the actual meeting takes place. A little over 6.5 hours. Sorry, 5.5 hours. I want to be there early. But Ray or Q, if one of you could contact Phil and let him know that we found a member of the insurgency here, as well as tell him about the things that we have found within this establishment. I'm sure he would like to hear them.
Yes. One moment, please. If you don't mind keeping an eye on me while I take care of this, I'd much appreciate it.
Of course. Why not?
You don't use the mask to project image back at the hideout, well, our headquarters.
You project an image of, well, Phil. No, of yourself towards Phil. Panic because it's always a panic when you do this. You really gotta stop doing this. Don't you have some sort of messaging or sending?
Yes, I do, but there's a lot to discuss, and the spell is a bit limited.
Fair enough.
This works better.
It's just always. It's a lot. That's all he says. Other than that, I'm assuming you're here to talk about something?
Yes, we found some interesting things at a place called
Anderson's Robotics.
Anderson Robotics Incorporated.
There's a silence and no real sound. Even in the background, there is no sound from the monotonous crew of pencil pushers. And then, after a good few seconds, which is a lot longer than it should take, he does state, I see. That is
And
interesting.
then I'll share with them what we found and what the others saw there.
All right. Giving the information that you have and providing it to him, he states, I don't know why they're there, but it does seem that they might be involved. For what reason, and I am entirely not sure. That being the case, however, that is not the primary concern. I can continue to send in surveillance another team in, but it's gonna be a while until they can arrive there. That for the matter, though, I am glad you brought this to my attention, as seemingly enough, the other team that I have there did not. Well, rather the other agents. They're not exactly a team.
Well, there is quite a bit going on here. So they may have gotten distracted by something else or just been busy.
Fair enough, he states, but you can clearly tell he doesn't believe that. Well, he believes you, just not the whole been busy part. Maybe he needs to deal with that, but another time. He does then continue. Right then. Other than that, is there anything else, or are you trying to seek for advice on this?
Well, advice is always appreciated. Though I was also wondering about the two unusual children we met. Do you know anything about them? Are they potentially things we should be keeping an eye on?
Yes, primarily, both of them are a good concern and safety concern whatsoever. Are a safety concern. Your main objective should be to acquire the children and make sure that they're fine, as I would rather not them be hurt. But under our own jurisdiction, they are classified as 191 and 040. They are a very dangerous duo. One has the abilities that go beyond what normal scientists in my field and others are able to replicate at this moment in time. And if Anderson Robotics has their hands on them, that is concerning and a very, very dangerous breach of security. But the worst part is they have 048 there as well. She is, for the lack of the better term, since I don't have one right now, this is all being thrust upon me, is more or less a monster factory. She's able to create anything that she seems and deems fit. She herself is frail, but she's able to create things out of unvast ability. So I do advise caution when going against her, if you decide to do so. But I want them both alive. They are just children not knowing on what they are capable of. We're supposed to secure and contain them. And these two aren't exactly people that we aim to kill. That being said, they should not be here, and they are in the list of said entities that disappeared on us. However, 040 is new based on this list that you provided to me beforehand. You remember you gave him a list of information before. So either they're collecting, or this information pool that you have so far is limited, which is a problem in and of itself. And if they are collecting, somehow they're able to make more portals a lot more discreetly now. And I'm not sure how, other than the fact that they now have the ability to sustain portals from, well, according to... Actually, did you tell him about the instance in hell? I kind of forgot.
I don't remember. Do you guys?
I think we mentioned it in brief passing. We didn't give him full details.
So I missed 2 of those sessions due to being sick, if you'll remember.
Yeah.
But Zold would have told him if something incredibly unusual happened.
That's
unless
fair to
someone
say.
told Zold not to.
Well, I suppose
I
we
mean,
probably would. Well,
yeah.
Ray would tell him about that, just to as kind of a refresher, to mention where we encountered this satyr before.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I just needed to know that. I know you hit something from him in that mention, but I forgot what it was. But that's perfectly fine. Then he would simply state, based on the information on a last mission that you encountered them in, other than the one where Zold apparently shot someone about 10 times, I'm still filing paperwork on that one, it seems that they now have the ability to sustain and continuous sustain a portal. How they're creating them now without the help of Iris, I am not exactly sure. But that's a problem for another time, or you're doing it now. Based on the information you got me, the thing that they're trying to hold underwater might be the thing that's doing it. Or doing something worse. Which is not a great thing to think about. Now, you mentioned something about disappearances. Have you found or located anyone else that has disappeared within the 24 hours you have been there?
I don't think so.
From the information you've gathered, no one has disappeared within the last 24 hours as of yet.
Okay, I'll mention that to him and tell him about the weird, all that Morthos and Zold saw a monster in the lab.
That also needs to be collected. But right now, if it is restricted in movement, I would suggest finding a way to keep it in its holding. Based off of what you've provided with me in Morthos' information and Zold's clarification, it's best you don't wake it up. The thing... I'm gonna use curse words and, not curse words, the proper term, I'm gonna be blunt on this. That thing is a bitch to collect and make sure that is imprisoned. It always managed to escape, and anything we try doesn't keep it from getting out. So when you do have to collect it, and I'm afraid you do, try to make sure it's stable. Try to make sure it's not... Let's put it in this term. If you do wake it up, it will come out, and it will attack. It doesn't really care for anything that's living. The only things it has not attacked is a small prepubescent child and a few other things that I'd rather not provide or disclose at this moment in time. But no, do not make child armor. That is not what I'm saying.
Right, of course not. So for now, what should we prioritize?
The children first, as if you do manage to wake up the creature in the pool, not the pool, in the sphere, that, well, basically you've shit the bed, as my people would say sometimes.
Alright, I'll let the others know.
Right. Oh, one more thing. That thing is near impossible to kill. We have yet to find how to kill it, but it is able to be hurt.
Right, I'll be sure to let Zold know that.
Damn it, Ray.
I mean, you do have explosives. Okay. You basically click, and you go and disappear once more, and you're back with your team.
Well, it's a good thing I used that spell instead of sending because we had a lot to discuss.
That's very
I
true.
noticed that it was some time you were gone. How are things? What did Phil say?
I'll fill them in on what Phil said, and that we should prioritize um, kidnapping the kids.
Not that exact language, but the exact term, yes.
Kidnap the kids. Really?
So, priority one is the children.
Priority 2 is the satyr.
Mm-hmm. According to the information pool you have, priority 1's children, priority 2 satyr. Somewhere along the line, you do have to retrieve the creature in the sphere. But that's basically him stating you have to do it. Just don't make it the first thing you have to do, or shit hits the fan.
My concern is that there's quite a bit of distance between here and the headquarters, so either we're going to have to do this a couple things at a time and hope the kids stay put for us, or we're going to have to take them, go back to the headquarters, and come back here again.
I mean, we should be able to use the portal to speed up the trip, right?
I'm afraid I don't have a portal back in Roanoke.
That's true.
So
There is
we
no.
still have to travel there.
Shit.
I am going to regret this word, or what I'm about to say.
Go on.
Totally going to regret this. Q.
The church.
Yeah, do you think they would be able to speed up a journey, possibly, if you were to ask them?
I'll have to ask.
Really nicely.
Well, you have
do we
about 5.5 hours to ask.
All right. Does anybody want to come with me to the church?
I'm afraid I have other business that I need to take care of before we head into the lion's den, as it were.
Cerulean does state, I do not, unless you want me to be excommunicated for a second time.
No, I kind of figured you wouldn't want to go because of what. Wait a second, time out. Out of character. Does Q know about a little bit about that? I'm trying to.
About her excommunication?
Yeah.
Not in Cerulean's case, no.
Okay.
You literally just joined. You didn't know everything.
That's what I'm trying. I'm trying to make sure that I don't say it since Q doesn't know. That's why I was asking.
Oh, yeah, that's perfectly fine. Well, you know that part, but I don't see a reason why you would bring it up. I mean, unless you
Zen?
wanted to.
Would you mind coming with me, Zen?
Sure, but, are they fine with Asimar? Wait, she just looked at Cerulean and then looked at herself. I mean,
wait.
Tiefling?
They're watching you. Never mind.
I can go with you if you want. I have nothing else to do in the meantime.
Alright.
I mean, technically, I don't. It could be a bargaining chip, if need be.
I'm not going to sacrifice you. That's not on the table, Warthos.
Now I have things prepared. He. No.
Does he do that?
No.
Damn, I was gonna wait. You know what? On second thought, let's go. You and me, let's go. Let's go have some.
I actually do have things prepared for oh shit moments, as per my norm for everything.
I mean, you're a human, right? Correct? Right now?
Yeah, but remember, one of them for sure can see through our disguises.
All we have to do is tell. I don't know if she'll be there, but all we have to do is tell her to keep quiet.
Well, so it could be a bargaining chip if we need it.
That's. I'm not willing to sacrifice, but this is your decision. I mean, I can't say much about doing shit without getting you guys' approval first as of what I've done, but
I mean, I'm not the one that looks like a tiefling right now. Gonna just kind of look at Zen.
What? I liked it.
alright, well, I guess me, Ray, and Morthos are going to the church.
Sure.
All right. So, farm boy, Ray's just human now. Q's just Q.
Yeah, Q's just cute. And my 2 boars and the giant rat.
I don't know if they'll be allowed inside, but you can bring them along.
They'll behave, they listen to me, so...
That is not the point.
No, let me finish, damn it. If
No.
I tell them to
They're
stay,
filthy animals.
if I tell them to stay outside, they'll sit and wait. Like they're friendly to me and my friends, and they obey my commands.
I mean, we may be lucky just for them to not be killed on sight, wandering around the city.
If I'm sitting here petting the boar, I dare someone to try to kill my boar.
You
I
just see a
will-
hunter just coming in, just contemplating on where to shoot it, and then just walk
I will
away.
bring hellfire upon them.
Nah, nothing
Alright.
like that happens.
Do you have Hellish Rebuke?
Yes, I do have hellish rebuke.
Okay. Sorry.
Okay. I'm assuming Huntsman is going elsewhere. Where are you going? I'm sorry, Zold.
Yes. My gun has not been fixed yet.
Your gun
I
has
sure
not been
would like
fixed.
for it to be fixed before this pops off.
Q then... No, not Q. Zen then states, a nice little logo shop. It might help you, it might not, honestly. It honestly depends on if you want to go to it or not.
Well, if they have the tools, I should be able to fix it myself. I just need like a proper tool setup.
I mean, you can always just go back into the place you literally just left to fix it.
I don't need them to know that I have this.
That's fair. But she does give you the card of said shop. It's known as Benny D's Wondrous Bazaar.
Thank you, Zen.
Right. I wasn't actually sure if I was gonna go back there. Didn't really have stuff I needed, but it might have stuff you need.
Thank you very much. I'm gonna head that way. Anyone who would like to come is welcome to.
I think you... one boar goes. No, 2 boar go. Nope, all the creatures abandon Q and go with you. Now,
Nah, I was just moving him away from Rick if she kept running away from him.
yeah, that's fine. Just Cerulean, I guess, because Q, I wouldn't say enforced, but decided to recruit everyone else.
No, I said maybe not Zen since she's a tiefling and they're looking for tieflings.
Oh,
I made that statement.
yeah, that's fair. She'll go
After I
too.
remembered they're looking for tieflings. No, she wanted to change her look, maybe, but no.
No, she's keeping it, mainly because she has been seen with you guys like this, and it'd be
Yeah.
weird if she disappeared.
Yeah, that's why.
Would it though, because of all the other disappearances?
That's the
would it?
point. Then you would get investigated and scrutinized. Again, Zen overthinks things.
Right. All right. Well.
All right,
Actually-
I'm gonna go with Q's church group first.
All right. We're going to church.
Shoot me in the head.
You're already here. Copy and paste.
Half the tokens are gone.
Yes,
than
they
half.
are. But they're here in my line of vision, which is still bad.
I'm gonna tell the animals to wait right there and do nothing unless something. Yeah, just stay there and don't attack anything.
Have Peep shrink down so I can either carry him in my hands or kind of hide him in the armor.
You do so.
Alright, this is gonna be awkward. Before we go in, before we enter, just make sure I know what I'm doing. I'm saying we're needing to find a fast way out of town quickly to Roanoke, right?
Correct.
To, I guess it'd be to transport two individuals who fall under our protection.
Right. Alright. Stay at least. Morthos, don't do anything.
Marthos, don't touch a thing, is what he's basically saying. As Q opens
You're saying that to me of all people.
As Q opens the door, she does see said individual you've seen before. Obviously, you know her now, Morthos and Ray, who she was beforehand, but now you know her current location and establishment. Other than her family line and working for the Crimson Guard, which is a subsect of a military force that enforces certain laws.
Alright.
Remembering in the past, she also hunted you guys. Well, hunted a necromancer, but she really wasn't keen on that part.
Right.
But she
Well,
notices you.
Call her over, motion for her to come here real quick.
Yeah, that's fine. She comes over and goes, "Oh, you're back early. Weren't you investigating something?"
Yeah, you understand. I'm saying this quietly, so that we're not overheard. You understand the reason why they're cloaked, right?
I mean, I guess. Don't know why they're doing it here, but to each his own. I'm not going to judge. If you
Alright.
want, if they want to be more themselves, I am more than willing to accommodate them.
Well, they're probably just gonna stay like this. I need to talk to. Remind me of his name because I'd written it down, but it didn't save. I wrote it down, but it didn't save. English is hard.
English is hard. It's Yule.
Yule.
Y-U-L-E.
I need to speak with you. It's important.
I mean, he's still in the back waiting for you.
All right.
I mean, Willow's with them too, but I mean, it's not as if she ever leaves his side, except to go to the bathroom. That'd just be weird.
Right. All right. Well. Yeah. All right. And then I'll just proceed back there.
All right, she doesn't stop you.
Well, I mean, I'm a part of the organization, sir.
I mean, yes,
I'm a
but
part of the cult. I'm
you-
a part of the cult.
called her over just to say, "Hey, I'm here to see these people," and she said, "Okay." You understand why they're hidden in secret, right? Sure. Don't know why they're doing it inside of this establishment, but whatever. Okay, I'm gonna go over there. Fine. Basically, you gave her a conversation she really didn't need to be a part of.
Yeah, I know.
Power play. Good for you. Coming over, you do manage to see that there are some refreshments already there and 2 cups. Ray, you can see that they're maybe blood, as they do have some red tint. No, that's just grape juice. This one's wine.
Yule,
But Yule looks towards Q. Yes,
I have a question for you.
I might have an answer, as I had foreseen you would arrive with your friends today.
Um, do you have a means of getting from here to Roanoke pretty quickly?
I can... Yes.
Like instantly?
For instantaneous, I can acquire one, but yes, that should not be an issue.
Alright. We've been me and our friends have been investigating some stuff. And, found that, this group is, keeping these 2 children basically hostage.
How so? Ball and chain, tattoo. You're gonna have to be more specific. There are various ways.
Confined to the building, not a research building. They're basically using the kids as research subjects.
Well, that could be an issue in itself, but from what I understand and what you've told me, it just seems that they're confining them for their own protection. But I suppose if this is what you deem necessary, I will not stop you.
I'll just say that they have abilities that shouldn't fall into the wrong hands, and currently there is someone within said place that is of the wrong hands.
Go ahead and roll persuasion. It honestly depends on what you're trying to do, if it need help you. That's pretty good.
Pretty good. Nat 20.
I'm not exactly sure what will become of this. I have yet to see something along this line. However, if it does seem necessary, I can provide you this instantaneous travel, but it'd be one way. It would not be able to bring you back.
That's fine. We have means to come back. We just don't have means to get there.
I should warn you, however, that if you decide to do this, more than likely people will be alerted of 2 missing children, or, for the fact of the matter, if this is a well-known establishment from the higher-ups, you will likely have it or find it harder to get back in. Even with your own newfound status.
Yeah, I understand. I don't think it's right to experiment on children, honestly.
He looks back to Willow and then states, I concur completely. That is not the problem I had. The problem I had is if you're fully seeing the entire picture.
I understand that if we do this, when we do this, there is that chance that we won't be able to come back. But this is important that these children aren't used for what they can do maliciously, and the organization that I'm investigating would do just that. they would force these kids to do things that they probably wouldn't want.
Hmm. All right. I mean, you've already convinced me of the situation, but I'm just wondering if you have everything ready. Because I need to know beforehand, otherwise I won't have them ready.
Let's see. We have a meeting back in the building. At what time? I'll look over at Ray, but not say her name.
It was at 6:15,
Mm-hmm.
so our friend wanted to be there early.
Yeah, we have a meeting to be allowed back into the building at 6:15, but we're gonna be outside and ready beforehand. It's just gonna be how long it'll take us once we're inside.
All right, then I should call them soon, and they will likely be here within the hour, if that's the case, and I'll pay for their services for the night.
All right.
But beyond that,
I do appreciate it. I know this is asking a lot, and I'm new to the group, but
we all do the work that needs to be done, regardless of how he slightly chuckles new you are. That being the case, who are your friends here? For some reason, they are not the ones I saw within my vision.
are you? Who did you see then?
From what I can remember, a nice tiefling woman, an Aasimar male, Cerulean is disguised as an Aasimar male. Forgot to mention that, but it shows up now. And another human.
They're taking care of some business elsewhere.
I see.
These companions are people I as my newfound status required in so many words from the current ruler. My new hire for the family.
Ah, of course.
I'm showing them around to some places that I know in case I need them to do something for me.
I see. That is truly interesting. If this is the case, then somewhere along the line you have altered the future and, well, not in complete impact way, but it seems that you have altered it either by missing or acquiring something, and I'm not quite sure which one. Truly fascinating. That's all they say to that topic. As you're eyeing the tiefling suspiciously, Morthos, you can tell that they're just looking at the subject matter completely and ultimately. They are listening to what Q's saying to see if how they're saying it and how Yule's responding. Then she looks towards Ray and you. Not as if she can peer through the very illusion that you're at, but just seeing if you're questioning it or if you don't believe it yourselves. How secretly are you doing this, Morthos?
I'm kind of being like, because, I'm acting the farmhand, just like kind of in awe in a sense.
Okay. I just needed to know that. At a certain point in time, she does notice you just basically doing the exact same thing, but without the insight that she's going for. So when you accidentally, or maybe on purpose, lock eyes, she just waves and then continues with this conversation. But other than that, nothing really happens. She's not as if she senses your very presence and being and goes, "No, that's him, officer. That's the man that got almost killed by a cult."
Right. That would be a little awkward at this moment.
Yeah.
I'll turn to Willow and it's like, I haven't really seen anybody that you described. So the one that you were talking about that did enter is currently a friend of mine. So, and I don't think you're looking for them. So,
Okay. I mean, I only sensed a presence in town. I can't exactly feel the sensation. It's not I think you will call them magnets. Don't have an actual connection, just a sense of presence.
right.
To be exact, though, I sense two, but only one of them felt like a tiefling.
Sorry. All right.
That's what she says. Take that as you will. Other than that, Yule does state. Now then, is there anything else you'd like to discuss, or is that it?
Yes, actually, I was wondering about what you meant when you have been speaking about seeing the future.
Ah, yes, the ability to cast your vision upon the outskirts of time itself. It's a very hard thing to do, but it's not an impossible thing to do. Have you ever heard of wizardry and the contemplation of time itself?
Well, I have been hired as the Bishop family's new
Court mage.
family mage, so I have a fair bit of knowledge of wizardry.
Ah, well, to be
Is what
specific,
you're doing some manner of divination?
in a sense,
spells?
yes. Well, I do have divination traits. I can also alter or observe the very nature of the future itself. I am not sure if I can teach to you, but I suppose I can teach you some tricks of the trade. Tell me now, have you ever heard of portents?
Yes, I believe I read about them some time ago when I was starting to study magic and decide what I wish to specialize in.
Well, portents are able to alter and change the very nature of the future itself. Within the very second, the minute, you are able to see a altercation and observe it in the distance. And in a way, you're able to change said altercation either by changing your stance, changing the stance on how you block, or how one observes or is mitigated with a change in their own value. Ultimately, you are thinking ahead, seeing what's ahead, and then going back with said knowledge, allowing yourself to change the future, either for the better or for the worse. I could perhaps teach it to you, but you would have to come here roughly about once a day for about 2 weeks.
Interesting. Perhaps once I have some more time.
Perhaps. I do have some reading material, but that'll take longer, roughly maybe 3 months if you don't have a practitioner of the trade.
Well, I would be interested in reading about it as well.
Right. I don't have it with me. Currently, they are rented out to my other pupil, but I can bring them back later tonight when you, how do the kids say it? Bolt out of town.
Is that what they're saying now?
I do not know. I don't generally involve myself with children.
Neither do I.
That's all he says.
The situation we're in.
Yeah. That being said,
Okay.
is there anything else you need to speak with him about, or try to gauge his information pool?
I was Q's sitting here thinking and watching. Speaks up and goes, Eel,
Yes.
can I trust you?
Potentially. Depends on what you're trying to trust me with.
Do you know any information about the, now remind me the, workshop place that we went to? What was it called again?
Anderson's Robotics.
About Anderson's Robotics?
You can just call it AR Inc. or AR. Wait, I was just gonna say and AR Robotics, which is not the term. You can just call it AR if that helps.
Okay.
They're an established governing factor that came in before the former ruler became ill. They did manage to write up a contract, and they are more or less untouchable. They are able to be monitored and observed. However, they are not exactly able to be taken down without true probable cause. So if you have it, I suggest you use it. If you don't, I suggest not speaking out loud, as they do have friends on high and a very sturdy contract. Other than that, from what I can tell, they gather and collect materials from all over. They, in fact, make massive profit and contribute a massive profit into the city. However, they are mainly the only ones. And due to this, there is a shortage on a few things here and there. So if you do need things, I suggest more or less becoming buddies with them.
That's gonna be a problem.
Maybe
Yes.
not.
What?
So I have a little toy. Only used once, but it's labeled by them. So maybe we could use that as some means of working out a deal.
A
That-
deal with them to
I'm spitballing here.
That is possible, but that'd be up to you and your, how do the kids say, crew, just to decide.
No offense, you should probably just stick to the old folks' terms.
Right. So, is there anything else you need to go and do, or do you intend to stay here? Or, as the kids say, sit and eat.
No, we gotta probably take care of a few more things.
Right.
He is.
Willow's like 18, so he's trying to. He's doing it badly, but he is trying to be more comforting.
And she's probably just constantly cringing.
More than likely, yes.
Well, if what you say is true, tonight might be the last night I get to stay in the town for the foreseeable future.
Well, if that's the case, I suggest you do any type of shopping you need to, provided you aren't anything that they don't care for. I'm afraid there is some favoritism in this city. If you are able to disguise yourselves, I would recommend either a human, elf, or Aasimar. Aasimar will give you the best discounts, but humans second, and then elves third.
Right.
Anything else you generally get how do you
Yeah,
people
don't
phrase
even-
it, inflate prices. Inflated prices, that's it. He was actually just looking for the word that time.
Alright, well.
Jeez, I lived in the mountains for 7 years and I know the terms better.
Did you
Well, I
ask him
guess,
that?
No, I'm saying that as I walk away.
No, not that, Ray.
Oh,
No.
Okay. I mean, he will tell you if you ask him. You don't have to, though.
Nope. I'm not gonna.
Okay. You contemplate that. You met the tiefling that kind of looks like Morthos, kind of. Her hair is whiter, her eyes are bluer, and she doesn't have the prismatic horn. But she super does not look like a tiefling. Well, she does, but with more ASMR aesthetics. Maybe ASMR aesthetics. She definitely looks brighter. But we'll go over to the shop. Oh, I forgot to move Zold, Zen, and Cerulean. Canal, I believe that's where you were grouped up. Yes, you are. Come on, map. Move. Move. Alright. Zold, you make it there without an issue. You do get more or less catcalled from a few tieflings. That's it. That's all that happens. Do with that as you will. Other than
I
that,
will ensure that my wife does not commit murder on the street.
okay. Roll a dexterity saving throw. You managed to grab anything that she was trying to grab from her pocket before anything happened. You did it. Hooray. But you're also kind of curious what would she have grabbed. Because she only has assault spells in her current repertoire. You're not exactly sure what she would have done.
It's for the best.
Probably for the best. Outside of that, though, Zen was also preparing, but you stopped Cerulean, so she didn't decide to do anything. Entering inside, I am assuming you're entering inside.
Yes.
Entering inside, you do see a menagerie of people, orcs, humans, no tieflings, but elves, and a strange man in the mask, half mask on top of their head, as your motley crew joins the already established motley crew. No one's fighting a rabbit, though, so unfortunately that has yet to come.
Unfortunate. I'll look around. Let's go over here. Hello there. Who's the proprietor of such a fine establishment like this?
The guy with the mask looks at you and goes back to the person that's he was talking to. Do you mind? No, it's not. It's all right. I still have like 2 hours on my shift, so I mean, you're already here. Yeah, it's all right. It's fine. He comes over. Hello there. How can I help you, sir?
Yes, I've quite an intricate trinket. I was wondering if you have a workman who is good at dealing with such finery, or perhaps the ability to let me use some sort of repair stand so that I might tinker with it myself.
Oh, let's see. Have a look. Do you bring it out?
Looking around, do these people seem like they would be familiar with firearms?
You're not exactly sure, but some of them look like mercenaries. Others look like more refined assassins. Some just look very pretty, and for some reason they're here too. And then some look like politicians.
I'll slowly set it on the table. I don't want to like anyone to think this is a robbery or anything.
Okay. So you slowly put it on the table. It cracks, shatters. One bullet strays and hits this orc. He goes over, dies. Everyone begins to panic. Now, it just hits the table and nothing happens. Oh, I see, a firearm. I haven't seen one of these since 2 weeks ago. Did you mug them?
I sure hope not. I've had this since before 2 weeks.
Oh, then it should be fine. Unfortunately, theirs had a systemic problem with their barrel chamber, and it would have blown it up in their face if they used it. I'm assuming that's why you're... No, you said you didn't mug them. I'm assuming that's not why you're here.
I assure you it is not.
Great, because I can't fix that problem. Too much damage. Well, I can,
Understandable.
but it'd be very pricey.
Would also be a new firearm at the end, no?
Yes, basically. Now then, what's this damage on this, and what are you looking to spend?
Yes, well, it is capable of firing at a decently good rate. I find it quite fun for target practice and the like. You know, with the clays and the pools and all that. I've gotten quite good at it, but unfortunately, if I fire quickly, it's I think I believe it's the slide. It cracks, as well as the chamber begins to fail to chamber correctly. It doesn't cycle rounds anymore correctly.
Oh, I see. It's a simple calibration issue. That shouldn't be an issue. The orc that's standing there, it's kind of a cross. He's not able to like reach out and grab your gun, but he does look at it and goes, goes over and looks towards Bob. Do you want to ask him or should I? No, it's perfectly all right. He can be obtuse if he'd like. You're more than welcome to speak out loud if you'd like, sir. He's gesturing towards you. But you can just ignore him, and he will continue on.
I apologize. I believe that there is a question that is not being asked, and I failed to comprehend it.
Oh, specifically what my friend here, Terse, is. Terse, say hello. The orc just goes, hello. Here is stating is if you hunt people with it, well, involve shooting individuals with it.
No. That is not exactly what I do.
Fair enough. Do you hunt other than the clay pigeons? Because it does involve a different sort of calibration.
I do, yes.
Good. Unfortunately, if you had not said that, I would have involved it to be a more sports gun, which wouldn't be as strong, but it'd still pack a punch, just nothing fatal. So you would have ultimately just, well, to put it in plain terms, if you decided to shoot an owlbear with it, you would have just pissed it off and it would have come straight for you.
Oh, good thing I tell the truth then.
Yes, very good. Let's see here. That should be about probably 4 hours based on the items I have to do before this one, but it shouldn't be more than 50 gold. Anything you want added on, that will add on an additional cost, but a simple repair job should do the trick.
Oh, if you've the bells and whistles, I wouldn't mind paying for some extras if you don't mind telling me what is available. Though I would also not mind paying for priority service, as it were.
Oh, right. Well, if priority service is what you're going for, I can do it within the hour. It will cost 85 gold, but it'd be within the hour rather than a longer extent of time. That being said, though, if you're trying to amplify your abilities, I can... Well, the first thing I would do is make it smaller, more compact, and easily be able to hide upon your own person.
Round the edges down, shave it down. I'm liking the sound of it.
Right. The only thing I can currently do, since this is a rush order, is probably make some specialized bullets. Nothing too fancy, but maybe something that strikes a +1 punch to things.
I would not turn that down, no.
Right. I can't make much of them, as, again, rush order, but I could probably make about 15. Each bullet would cost around 8 silver, though.
Money is no object, my good man.
Money should always be an object to you, good sir. But I understand where you're coming from. I myself didn't come into money until roughly 2 weeks ago.
That is oddly specific time frame. It's the same time that the man you said was here with the firearm.
Yes, he was very persistent.
Did he be the one that be you into money?
No, that was his friend. The man with the firearm just said, if you don't like it, I will take my, what's the term he used? Business elsewhere. Rather obtuse and terse man, but his friend seemed friendly enough, so I helped him. Pretty well.
Of course, of course. Um, Besides these bullets, have you any other baubles, Dad?
Uh, I mean, if you're looking for baubles, I can include some type of powders. It won't be for your gun, but you can use them for area of effects. I have ones for sneezing. I have some for making a makeshift darkness spell that will activate for a round. Same with the powder. Um, I do have things that will burn the eyes for about 1d2 rounds, causing anything that they do, say attack. After all, bears and owls like that attack. Have disadvantage on anything involving sight and or movement.
Interesting. Though I was more concerned about the firearms.
Oh, the firearms, I'd have to look things up. Again, 2 weeks ago, rush order, don't have anything prepared for firearms. It's not exactly a common thing.
Of course, of course.
I mean, if you
What
speak
about-
with any of the noble families and their blacksmiths, you might be able to find something available there. But that is something I would suggest not doing. The woman to his side then goes, I would agree with Bob here. Honestly, I'd suggest either working with him or, I don't know, maybe going to a black market dealer. Bob then states, very good, Tiffany. She is right. You can go to a black market dealer and they might have something for you, but then they might want something in return.
Of course, of course. You are forthcoming of the Shadows markets. You wouldn't happen to know where I'd find it, would you?
I mean, everyone else knows where it is, so he then points towards a map and gives you quite literally a location of what appears to be a firm and lawyer's office. He's not even trying to be cheeky. He seems to be actually genuine.
That is quite interesting. Any other items of interest you might have around here? I'm a collector of, the things that go stab and those that go slash.
Ah, yes, of course. Unfortunately, some of the things are expensive as they are not magical, and those that are on the tail end of the nobility here that are the only ones that pay for these things.
Ah, yes. Well, as it were, I am foreign nobility, from across the sea. And money is no object, once again, my good man.
Well, if it's outside of the city, it might make things even worse. I'm assuming they took your money when you came inside? Gave you the shells for quantitative amounts of said money and value?
I fear I do not understand.
All right. Well, to reiterate what happened beforehand, they were trying to take your stuff and we're going to give you things to basically means you have this and this and this and this. When he mentioned shells, it might be some type of pseudo money you can use in the city. However, because you didn't have any of that happen to you, you're not lying. You have no idea what that is, but that might not be a good thing inside of a business that knows what that is.
No, it was a rush trip. We journey far. Me and my comrades. It's a spur of the moment decision. There's not really a welcoming committee for me, if you understand.
Well, as long as you didn't have money on you and, well, some things that people do, and I'm assuming this is what you did, and I am not in any way condoning this, but bringing in materials rather than bringing in quantitative value, such as coins, gemstones, and whatever the nobilities use as money. For some reason, they also use electrum, and honestly, no one uses that in any way. He just scoffs at it. So, the noble in the far distance of the room also scoffs. Ha! But Bob then continues. If you bring in, let's say, goods and wares, they can't exactly take that as a way. as he touches his nose. And I'm
Ah,
assuming this
yes,
isn't
yes.
something you did, obviously.
Of course, my good man. That's not what happened at all.
Right.
I assure you, my money is good and clean, just as it were anywhere else.
Good. Uh, well, you now know the actual way nobles and other people with money bringing in their money. So you have that. Bob then states, so if you do have some way of purchasing things, I am able to offer you +1 weaponry and +1 armors. That being said, they are rather expensive at 800 starting. That being said, they are useful if you're going on hunts and either wanting to be guarded. If you want any type of effect, you can speak with me and I can enchant it. Or you can just ask for something specific and see if I have it already. That being said, I do have a poison dagger, a flame tongue blade, two sets of elven feetwear. No, that's the... He just looks at a tag. He goes back to the person he was talking with before. Sally, did you write this? I mean, it's not wrong, is it? I mean, technically, no, it's not wrong, but it's not the proper term. Yeah, whatever. It's not like they're gonna buy the thing. Yes, two, elven feetwear. Other than that...
I'm interested in the sword of the flame and these feetwear, and he kind of chuckles.
For the feetwear, I'll reduce it down by, like, say, 10% thanks to the typo. So roughly around 600 gold. I could probably bargain it down. He winks. However, the flame tongue dagger would be around 2,000 gold. And then he winks again.
Yes, well, as it were, I can haggle. Yes, I can do that. Let's say you pay, I pay full price for those things, and in return you exchange an amount equal to the worth of this
You just give him the bar.
bar of platinum.
Yeah. Well, you do drive a hard bargain. However, I suppose I'm willing to give you said items for value price and give you said change for the quantitative amount of money you have.
Would you be able to supply it in these shells?
I mean, yes, but wouldn't you prefer... I mean, yes, but would you prefer money? The shells would work here, but they would not work outside of the city, which is why if anyone of nobility tried to extort someone outside of it, it would not work well. It's one of the things the former... Well, he's still alive, but if you ask me, the prince is doing a better job, even though no one likes him, had set up to make sure that none of his nobles decided to go and gallivant off and basically become a tyrant.
I see. No, in that case, legal tenders shall be fine.
Yes, you can still use legal tender. That's not an issue. Just don't flaunt it in front of guards and you should be fine. Although I would recommend making some of them shells just to have a little spending slash hush money. And then also not being caught with actual money.
Good call, my good man. Say 2,000 of it in shells.
I mean, I was thinking more of 100, but that works too. He goes over to Sally, and Sally comes to the back. Sally then offhandedly states, I'm glad he understood your winking. Me too. It's always awkward when they don't. And then she comes back with said money value.
So I paid 2.5k for the sword and the footwear, and then I am getting back 5k. Right?
Yes.
Can we have that as like 500 platinum?
Yeah, that's fine. I mean, he will have to go to the bank later. Well, air quotes bank later on, but that's not an issue.
Oh, it'd be 300 platinum and then 2,000 gold worth of shells.
Very good. Here are your platinum pieces, and here are your shells. I did include a proprietary bag with them, so you're not actually carrying these shells. He does pick one out of the bag, and the bag looks about the size of a 3-foot by 3-foot bag. Not 3 feet. 3-inch by 3-inch bag. He plucks one out, and it does seem to be kind of like a circular disc, but it seems to be made out of shell itself. Just stronger. A little bit more sturdier. Kind of like a poker chip, really. He examines it to you. Count them if you'd like, but there are 2,000 of them in there.
Good man, good man.
Right. I will also explain, though, that the bag itself is able to carry the shells, but nothing else. Unfortunately, it's something that the mage school got contracted to make. It's technically a bag of holding, but a specific one. It's kind of annoying.
Apt mages, though?
Yes. If you have the money that you clearly have, you could probably get the mages to do something for you as well. Just depends on who and when.
Of course, of course. I've friends within the establishment, so I might pay it a visit when I next come through.
Oh, very good, Ben. As this is being stated, Q disguised, Morthos disguised, and Ray disguised. You do have... Man, I'm blanking on Peep's name, and I just said the name. Peep is currently being hidden. Come through the door. Because I remembered you wanted to go shop. Someone wanted to go shopping. And it's easier for me this way. But Bob then goes, very good, very good. Oh, new customers. Strange, the bell didn't ring. Terrence states, the thing broke when I opened the door. Yes, that does happen. That does happen. Oh, he then looks over towards you, Zold. Touches his nose as if you know what this means, but you may or may not know. It's entirely up to you. But he does state, if there's anything else, please feel free to look around. I do need to schmooze these new folks.
Of course, I shall peruse until such time as my trinket has been repaired.
Right. He comes over. Sally, you know how to do this. I mean, yes, but I'm kind of working on something else. They paid for the rush job. I mean, I'm kind of in the middle, and then something blows up. Never mind, I can do it now. It wasn't your weapon that blew up. It was something else.
What footwears did I get?
Oh, specifically, it was elven boots. Boots of elven kind. Sorry. Did you grab both or just one?
I wanted both, yeah.
Yeah, that's probably fine. But Bob comes over. Oh, welcome, Miss and Mr. and Miss. Oh, interesting crest. Looks towards Q. As Ray moves away from him. So does Marthas. How can I help you three today?
Yes, I was looking for some interesting little items, some magical natured ones.
Well, your symbol represents the Bishop family, so I'm assuming you're related or perhaps a carrier of theirs. Do you have the proper documentation?
I am Quincy Bishop, head of the Bishop family.
That would be proper documentation. So yes, you do. All right. Is there anything specific you require? Tea. I believe the nobles like tea. Do you like tea?
No.
I believe their second choice is usually coffee or creamer, or coffee creamer. Do you prefer
I said
coffee or
magical
creamer?
items.
These are magical, apparently, to them. And then he comes over here. He looks over at the woman. Is everything all right? Are you doing well? Yes, I'm just looking at this bow and arrow. Oh, those things are magical and they're very expensive. And she puts it back down on the table. Is there anything cheaper? Oh, on top left, right side, other side of the room. Thanks. Right. And she goes over here. Now then, you did say you wanted price and value, but value was not an option. Or price was an option. Are you the one that said that, or was that the customer I had before?
Probably a customer you had before.
That makes sense. He then picks up the bow and arrow and goes, right, this bow and arrow is a +2 bow. The string itself is made out of woven unicorn hair, so it does have a celestial bond to it. With that, you are able to do holy radiant damage with any arrow you use, so long it's not made of any birched wood. Well, necrotic wood would also be a damper on it. It would basically destroy the thing. Not the bow, the arrow itself, so it'd be useless. But any standard arrow you would use would instead use holy radiant damage. Is this something you're looking into?
No, I've never been really too fond of using bows.
I mean, it's expensive. It's around 250,000 gold. No, sorry, that's
Yeah.
its extra zero. He writes it off. 2,500 gold. Sorry about that. Sally, did you change the prices on this? I put down the number you gave me. It looks at his leisure. Oh yeah, you did. My bad. It's fine. I'm still working on the gun. Right. If bows and arrows aren't your thing, are you looking at a specific type of weapon?
Maybe some maces.
Maces. I believe we do have masonry ware. Let's see. Are you trying to be, are you trying to do some type of carpentry work?
No.
Are you, hunting for something? You are part of the Knight's Order, but, don't really know what service you're on. I mean, quite honestly, you might just be one of those nobles that, I mean, no offense, but a little offense, just take on a position of title and then don't do a thing.
Well, I've recently became the head. Before I was part of the Knight's Order as a enforcer.
And
So
you're
to
looking
speak.
to, swap said weapon. Got it.
Yes.
I do have this mace. It is not... Well, I suppose you could use it for hammering things, if you're really into the hammering things. But hammering things can also involve people, creatures. It is a +1 mace. However, it does have a fiery brand attached to it if you are able to cast the spell Heat Metal on it. Are you able to cast the spell Heat Metal on it?
I don't know. Mechanics wise, do clerics get heat metal? I don't have it. I don't have that now.
He does state, I can also inscribe for you a spell to make the thing cast heat metal, but that will require about an hour's work and probably an expedited payment service, as Sally is currently working with a flintlock pistol right now. Please don't, or at least wait another 10 minutes. You can always wait another 10 minutes and then she can do it.
Any other type of items doesn't specifically have to be weapons.
Oh, I do have some powders, some potions, some laxatives, some medicine. Let's see here. I do have some tools that are more advanced than the standard. Let's say thieves, working man's tools, artisan's tools, climbing kits, but more advanced. Ray, you are correct. I was just naming a gun I knew, and that was the first one that came. Mind.
Yeah, a semi-auto flintlock pistol would be a literal deafening. I don't even want to think about the specifics of that.
I was thinking more along the lines of some type of magical staffs. Anything in that nature?
Ah, staves or staves, as some people call them, which is stupid.
Yeah, I
Yes,
agree.
I do have the staff of the serpent. Serpent? I really gotta check these typos. Staff of the serpent. Is that something you're interested in?
I think I've already got one of those.
He just throws it over his shoulder. Right. It cracks in half, and then you see a snake just swerve out of the set broken in half. Huh, it might have been a fake. Or I just unleashed a celestial being into the world? Either way, do you have... he then looks at his listings. Anything in particular? You mentioned it doesn't have to be a weapon, but could be a weapon?
So, in a sense,
He just straight up says to you, "You are not helping me." But let's take a look at what I have. I have a +2 staff, a +1 staff, a staff of fire and brimstone, a staff of ice magic. Let's see here. Are you wanting to dominate people or monsters?
anything dealing with, per se, holy magic.
To fight against it or to fight with it? Or
with
use...
it, channel it, help channel it, or expel holy magic from it.
He goes,
Divine.
I could perhaps make an enchantment to funnel holy magic radiant energy into it, but someone would need to provide it if you're able to do that.
Do you know of anyone that might have a staff of healing?
Oh, that's what you're looking for. I have that. That's not an issue. But what you were talking about seemed to me like you were trying to hone in and focus holy energy into said staff and then just hit people with it.
No, I'm not more. My abilities lie more of with the divine these days.
I mean, it's perfectly fine if you want to hit people with it. A lot of people here hit people with sticks.
Yeah,
You just hear
I've
this
already
noble go,
got the-
mm-hmm.
I've already got something that is that.
Oh, well, I do have the healing staff. If that's what you need, that's perfectly fine. It'll cost you 1,800 gold, but you are noble, so at noble price, it is 2,800 gold.
Also, out of character, does Q know you guys have a holy avenger?
I thought you sold that.
I think we've.
No, we've not sold the holy
I think
avenger.
we sold it.
We still got it. I mean, the group still got. Morthos has still got it in his bag of holding. Are you supposed to?
I mean, no one's ever pulled it out and no one's ever mentioned it, so I don't think so. I could be wrong.
No, I
though.
think we had this conversation before about it.
Yeah, because I remember saying that at one point we need to sell it, and then y'all mentioned, you reminded me that it was linked to that one guy, and then I was like, oh wait, probably not. But I can't remember if I
Yeah.
was playing Q yet.
I think. I don't know. I wouldn't worry about that right now.
So how much?
Again, noble price, so it is 2,500 gold, but I'll reduce it down since you know people, to 2,000 gold. You're not sure what he means by you know people.
And what was the other price he said before he jacked it up because of nobility?
1,800 gold.
How about we do 1,800 gold, and I buy some more stuff?
You are going to have to convince me, he winks. After all, I will have to then inquire the wrath of the rest of the nobles, and they're gonna go, why do you sell this price to this noble? Are you trying to scam us and blah, 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 blah.
I'm gonna,
Basically, I'm just asking you to roll persuasion. It's not that hard. Well, you
I
don't
was
know the
about to-
roll, but that's
Thanks,
what I'm
bro.
basically asking.
I was about to say something too. How about also on top of it, to help butter the thing, I'll pull the sword that was given to me by the Council of Five, by Yule. You enchant this also.
Oh, that's illegal. You'll be altering something that a governing power has given you as a symbol. I mean, it could, if you're willing to be found out. Don't get me wrong, I can, and it will be deadly and dangerous. Or healing. But that aside, there are quite literal risks to that.
Yeah, I know.
It's basically like you're part of a religion, and while you're part of that religion, you punch the priest in the face.
Right. Alright, well...
Although, between you and me, I don't like governing religions, so I would punch the priest in the face.
I kind of wink at him
He doesn't know what that means.
and smile at the same time like I'm agreeing with him.
Oh, okay, he would know that. Context cue.
So then I'll just... I guess I'll roll persuasion to try and reduce the price.
Well, your stance on things are well and good. I would not want to be in danger in case they ever found out I altered the blade, but I can reduce down the price to 2,000 gold. It'll be enough that there's a surcharge on nobility, but not so much it would break the bank. I mean, it'd be dangerous regardless, but it wouldn't destroy you.
Right. So that's the price for the staff.
Correct.
Now, quick question, did I get anything to use as the 2,000 gold, the 20,000 gold I had?
You were
Or-
given a bag that the prince gave you.
Oh, okay.
It's the same type of bag that Zold now has.
I'll pull out 2,000 worth for the staff.
All right. Very good, sir.
I'm a woman.
I call everyone sir.
Got it.
I also call children sir, and then their parents tell me stop calling my children sir. They find it creepy.
No comment.
Well, it is.
Bray had such a good idea, but I couldn't metagame it.
I mean, what are you trying to do?
He was talking about the Holy Avenger.
Oh, yeah,
Turning
yeah,
it
yeah.
into a Warhammer. 4Q.
He comes back with the staff. Here you are.
Thank you.
You can tell he was about to say sir, but since you said I'm a woman and you found it not great, he just stopped himself. Now then, is there anything else? You're
At the
looking for
moment,
healing
no.
items, so I do have some healing potions. They are at 75 gold for the standard, 150 gold for the higher increment, 200 for the higher increment, and the health potion, quite literally, he picks one up and it says health, is at 350 gold. Although that one heals you for 75 points of damage. And only one person can buy it at a time. Per day.
Yeah, I'll take all of them.
Are you sure?
Mm-hmm.
He basically makes a nice little box pouch and you buy them. To be specific, you just spent $350 for the health potion, which is just well, it's a health potion. You just flat out heal 75 hit points.
Mm-hmm.
75 for the standard. 150 for the one above that, which is 4d4 plus 4 or 2, I forget which. You paid 150, so let's make it 4. And those were all the ones I said. He does have more of the standard, but the rest, well, you paid for those specifically, and the last one, he can only sell one a day. But then after that, he goes, very good. Now you, good sir. Do you mind?
Whatever.
Very good. Do you require something?
Yeah, out of character, I'm trying to figure out how I should do this because I don't want to reveal my weapon. Because it's a freaking great sword.
Mm-hmm.
That's in a pocket dimension.
All right. Up to you what you decide. Ray, you can tell that there are some magical jewelry around that area. Specifically, there are a few pendants that can increase AC. There is a pendant of fire breathing. There is a pendant of water walking. There is a pendant of water breathing. There is a nice little necklace of air cutting, whatever that means. It might be a typo again. You've seen that he does have typos. There is a fan of gust. Oh, wait, that's not a jewel. There is a jewel of gust. It's green. It's nice. Martha, as you were saying.
So I have a weapon that I wanted to see if you can enchant, but preferably I don't like other people to see it because it's very unique.
Is this some sort of euphemism?
No.
Then this is gonna sound awkward regardless. Sally, we're going to the back room. Alright.
Alright. So there have my great sword. +3 great sword, attack the blade.
Alright. You present the blade and it goes, oh, this is what you meant.
Yeah, not what you were thinking.
Too bad. Handsome guy. He then looks at the blade. I could perhaps enchant it or disenchant it. What exactly are you trying to do with it? Are you trying to hit people with it? Or are you trying to hit things with it?
I mean, the only people I would hit with it is bandits. If they try to rob me.
Hit them real good or hit them to the point of they want to run away? Basically, he's saying hit them to kill, which he's not going to say outright, or hit them to just do blunt damage.
It depends on how they react when they see the weapon.
He does nod in agreement. Well, from what I can do based on this information, and I do suggest you don't tell people I can enchant weapons, I probably should have mentioned that to the rest of the new people, but honestly, only people come here on recommendations or if they were slipped one of my cards. So I'm pretty sure I can trust everyone here. Probably should have mentioned that before, though. Anyways, from what I can do on your blade, is there some type of elemental or type of damage that doesn't have to be elemental? you're looking to hit people with.
Okay, out of character, I will say me and Hunts were talking about the flame tongue, and now I realize that I'm supposed to have the Holy Avenger in my bag of holding.
Yes.
I'm debating that. But then it's like, oh yeah, we did kill someone for that. Oh boy. What all can you add to it?
I think it would be a problem as it is more or less connected to you. So I'd be adding it to you as well, which would be very awkward. But disconnecting it from you and adding that on, which should be an issue, I can infuse a type of special gemstone into it, which I would then need to embed a specific type of damage pool inside, which you could, in theory, because I've only done this about 3 times and 2 times it's worked, it's changed the type of damage that you're doing. You would ultimately be honing in and focusing into the gem, and in essence changing the class of damage. So, take for example, if you're fighting, let's say a merfolk. I don't know, maybe you're a racist, I'm entirely not sure what farm hands do, I'm gonna be honest. But let's say a merfolk is trying to attack your crops. That doesn't make sense. But let's say that's happening anyways. And then you change the type of damage into electrical. It would be more dangerous. A lot more deadly. And the merfolk that for some reason is on land? Oh wait, they can walk in land. What am I talking about? Would be more hesitant to go against you. However, you would need to provide the said elemental change. That I can't change.
Provide the elemental change.
Yes. You can use any type of element if you'd like, but any, like, say, force damage, you would need to cast some type of force spell into it. Or effect. They don't always have to be spells. In fact, you can just light a match next to the gemstone and that would be enough.
Oh.
Or, like, blow on it and that'd be gust. I mean, I can upsell you gemstones of elements and do that.
Well, I do have my own spells.
That's perfectly
that I can
fine.
use. As we're saying this, I'm literally looking at my cantrips to see what all elemental damage I can do.
Mm-hmm.
Seeing necrotic, electric, cold, force, and radiant.
While you're looking at that, Ray, you do find some clothing. Not there, but you do find it. You're just still looking around. You do find a Displacer Cloak Beast Cloak. It literally spells out Displacer Cloak Beast Cloak. Not the real name, but I'm pretty sure you understand what that means. Cloak of Water Breathing, a Cloak of Invisibility, a Cloak of Greater Invisibility, a Cloak of Transparent Invisibility, which might not be a good thing. Depends on what you ask him, I'm gonna be honest. A Cloak of Fire Resistance, a Cloak of Water Resistance, a Cloak of Dirt Resistance, whatever that means, a Cloak of Wind Resistance, and a Cloak of Pearlescent Resistance. Morthos, you're probably correct.
Has infinite prestidigitation on it.
Cloak.
All these cloaks can be pants, shirts, they can't be boots, but any other type of clothing. For some reason, I decided to make all of these cloaks. I don't know why. I think just so you could wear them above your current clothing, but you can make them clothes, perfectly fine. Just no boots or gloves. But Bob continues with Morthos. Now then, is there something specific you're trying to do?
I don't want to mention how I came across this. Let's just say it came into my possession from another person.
Oh, you murdered someone. Happens all the time.
I don't know if I murdered them.
People get murdered all the time.
I will pull the Holy Avenger out.
Ah, you murdered a priest.
No,
A bishop?
no.
The only other one I know is a nun.
I don't nuns take vows against violence?
Not all of them. In fact, like 10% do, the rest don't. The rest are very violent.
Oh yeah, they usually have rollers.
Yes.
Family Guy reference. Sorry.
It's really fine.
But anyway, either way, I came across this. It was given to me. And no, it was Zen.
Zen
She
melted
used
the one
the-
guy. Zol blew
The Paladin.
paladin's head off.
Yeah,
He
Zold blew
was-
up the paladin, Zen blew up the sexist.
His friend.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The paladin's the one that had the Avenger.
Yeah. Other than that, Bob says, I mean, the only other things that would be quantitative of the church or religious factions would probably be paladins, clerics, some druids, but not many.
No warlocks?
Oh, one or two, but generally they're considered heretics, so they don't get invited.
Yeah, most churches are assholes like that. Anyway, is there any way to forge this sword differently or to add its enchantments to another weapon?
What I can do, and it'd take 24 hours, even with the rush job, is basically merge the blades together and change the attributes of said weapon.
We don't have 24 hours.
I
Or
would,
do we?
depending on what you guys want to do in the immediate. But he does state, I'm afraid I would have to melt both weapons together. Smelled? I believe the blacksmiths call it smelding. I call it melting.
And my greatsword would still retain its properties of the Pact of the Blade.
Yes, but it gets he just goes over to Sally, says something, and then goes, as my employee would state, more kick ass.
I'm really starting to see a theme here with all these people in the city trying to be hip, and they're not.
Yeah. Well, Bob's just awkward. But he does sometimes do that, but only like twice now.
Are you able to turn the Holy Avenger into a different weapon without combining it with mine? I mean,
Yes?
okay, that'll be something to look into later. I think I'm just going to go with the gem. How long would that take?
He looks towards Sally. Like wait 10 minutes and then get back to me, and then it'll be the next rush job. If you decide to do a rush job. Other than that, it would take 4 hours.
Okay, I will wait the 10 minutes. And
That being said, the price would be, you're just infusing a gem into it, so let's round it down to 200 gold. He winks at you.
How much would it cost for the two swords melted together?
That would take some time and a good amount of my workstation, so let's round it down to I've only done this twice. I'll give you a discount since I've only done this twice and it's had a 50-50 split so far. 1,200.
Okay, I will check back in the 10 minutes.
All right. See if you can't make friends with the new people that came in. You can make friends with the old people that came here beforehand, but I don't know, they seem nice, and you might want to get into contacts because they've never been here in this store before. Well, that one has, points to the tiefling, Zen. But she didn't buy anything. She just came in after acquiring my card and then just came back out.
Yeah. So, rejoin the group.
You rejoin the group. Bob basically just comes around, but I'm just going to say he hops over because it's easier for me. Oh, and then Ray decides to leave.
Ray just walks away when he gets there.
Not wanting to be a bother, he comes back and helps Sally with the gun. So, like Bob mentioned, he told Morthos to make friends with the new people that came in. Because it's easier that way, not knowing that you already know each other. But he's now busy with work, so you can talk all you want.
So, did everyone find stuff?
No, nothing interesting.
Guys, we still got a lot of money to blow in case we can't come back.
Trust me, I was trying.
Quick question to all of you. So we have that very special sword we obtained. Just gonna look at Zen and Zold on this one. From that certain paladin.
Mm-hmm.
There's a couple options we can do with it. And I wanted to get everyone else's opinion. One, I could, and this is where it gets a little complicated because I don't know how soon we're putting our plans into action. I could have it fused with my own weapon, but that would take 24 hours.
We don't have the time for that.
And that option is out the window. That's it.
Give me one moment. I need to speak with them again. Hello, Monsieur. Monsieur.
Ah, yes, you're back. It's gonna take another 30 minutes. Is there something you need?
Yes, I was just thinking. You spoke of the armor, yes?
Yes?
Just wondering if you had in my country they had these rings that did this something similar?
Oh, do you mean, what are they called again? Shielding rings.
Perhaps.
I don't know, they call it various things in various countries. But they add a +1 or a +2 to your AC.
Have you used these in stock?
I have 2 in stock and 2, blank slated templates.
The ones in stock, what variety are they?
+1s.
And how much would you want for one?
No one really buys them. Apparently, the nobles just use their, I believe they call them cannon fodder to be in front of them. So they don't really sell well, but I suppose I can sell you the set for 800 if you just want to buy one, 500. Gold. Shells, he then shouts out.
Yes, shells. Yes, I understand. And the gloves. I understand that there are gloves that make one strong, tough, as it were.
Oh, I don't have those. Apparently, some nobles decided to go and play chicken with them and broke both of their arms. So I'm out of that stock, and now 2 nobles are out of 2 arms.
And I understand that there are belts that do something similar, then?
Yes, I don't have one of those in stock, though, but I could probably find one. Or you can deal with the black market.
Yes. I'll take one of the rings. 500 shells.
He winks. Comes over here where the gemstones were, and then hands it over.
Thank you, Monsieur.
Right. I mean, he did mention blank slates, but whatever.
Yeah, I took note of it.
Okay. Just making sure. Zen then states, I mean, other than changing it to something, could someone use it readily now? I mean, I can't, but I don't think Q knows about. Oh, wait. They're currently not here. She didn't say that. Instead, what she says.
I'm here.
Oh. You lied to me. Well, she continues on. I mean, I don't know if Q can use it, but maybe. Looks like Morthos.
I don't care. I didn't even know was supposed to have it in a bag of holding.
It's been there for a while. Apparently. I thought you sold it.
I thought Rusty kept it.
Oh, yeah! I didn't record those, so I'm gonna have to look through my notes, which is extensive.
No, Rusty never took it because he couldn't use it at the time.
Yeah, originally the plan was that he could attune to it and have the highest level like sooner because of how the artificer thing works.
Mm-hmm.
At
But he-
14th level.
But he left before, yeah, obviously before he that.
Yeah, Rusty had planned on using it once he hit 14th level, gained the ability to attune to everything,
Okay.
but he left the group.
So Zen presented that option to you, Q, and Morthos doesn't care.
I don't know. I don't think Q can use it though.
I don't think so. But you could probably change it into
As-
something.
Yeah, like Q can't use it as a sword.
Could use it as a
she'd ha-
stick.
Yeah. We'd have to alter it.
Yeah, unfortunately. And that would require time, because he does have to reshape the metal.
Yeah, he'd have to re-alter some of the enchantment and the weapon.
Yes. Oh, Morthos, do you tell the group that what he's doing is technically highly illegal?
No.
Okay, just making sure. It's what you decide. I mean, Q technically, air quotes, hired most of you, so you could have gotten magical property weapons and items from her spending habits. And you can probably write it off that way, but technically him enchanting and changing things magically is highly illegal.
Yeah, because we'd have to take it to where it can be attuned by a cleric instead of a paladin, and then turning it into a hammer.
My flaw is I like keeping secrets and won't share them with anyone.
I know. That's why I had him tell you. Okay.
Yay! Secret.
That aside, though, he is looking at your team and just simply offhandedly states, "That's good." You don't know why that's good, but he probably thinks you're making friends. That aside, though, Cerulean does state, regardless of that, I think we have everything just about set, but we don't exactly have a plan to the next situation other than snatch and grab.
We did get means to get to Roanoke instantly tonight, so that's taken care of.
Well, that's an exit strategy, but between that, there is meeting, snatching, grabbing, running, not being attacked or pursued, or taking them out, and potentially also inquiring the wrath of anyone that is against us in this city as well. For you, it'd likely be the nobles that you are now a part of. You are now a part of Q. For Zen, it'd be her family and technically the mob establishment. For me, it'd also
Ugh.
be said crew members.
We have business still here in the capital, but if we do this, like you're saying, we're probably not gonna be welcomed back.
More than likely. And if things screw up,
Probably.
I'm assuming this is why the farm boy is doing it. She doesn't actually know what name you're using, Zorthos/Morthos. Would then be picked up by the church, and he, which he should be, is not a fan of them.
Oh man, things are going too fast.
I mean, we have plenty of information, just no direction.
Oh, we need to get these kids out, and then whatever that thing is, possibility, and then that guy. But if we do that, we're probably making enemies of the kingdom.
With that, Zen does state, I mean, Zold might have a point on the plan he was going with. If we speak with them, we could probably get more information on why they have the kids.
I might have a plan for getting in and out of there. So it's risky, of course.
What would that be?
Well, if I remember correctly, our farm boyfriend is capable of rather long distance teleportation, and I can cast that spell as well. And with this bracelet I got recently, I can put that spell in it for someone else to use. So myself, our farm boyfriend, and Mr. Zoldair here, we could go in, try and convince them to come with us, and use the spells to teleport out of there and get out of
Change the way
town
you look.
and just burn these disguises and come back with different ones.
Or go in with different disguises, except for Zold, because he's the one that made the appointment. Because in that case, then that would that could break all, like, any ties you had with me. That way we don't burn bridge.
Right, maybe we should go to the appointment as we are to meet and get some more information. Then us three go in with different disguises if we decide to get out of there with the new friends.
Right. Yeah, that might be a good idea, so that we don't, because they already know
We're
these
a
faces.
group.
Yeah, these faces. So, yeah, that might actually work. That way we don't burn bridges in town and still have access to the city.
Cerulean does state fair enough. But if we do want to burn a bridge, I believe there's a bridge outside of the city that's technically there.
Right, because we do still need, Zen does need to talk to her family. We need to take care of that. We've got to get Giovanni off her back. And then we still got the thing in the water.
And the other thing in the facility you guys saw.
Right. I think that's a good idea, a good plan. See if, because the more distance I have from this, the better, because that will keep our somewhat ability here with me still being accepted as a noble. Because if I go in with this and cause a problem, that's probably gone.
I mean, you'll still be a noble,
Right.
but just without any clout.
Right.
Which is
And
kind of
perhaps
worse.
When we come back, you could just simply meet us at the point we arrived the first time and say that we're new hires of yours to try and avoid all the hassle we went through the first time.
Right. Basically, send you guys off to Roanoke. Me stay in the city, and then you let me know when you are heading this way, and I'll go to the square to pick you up.
That sounds good.
With this plan, I might have something that can help us also. I tend to hold on to a lot of things.
Mm-hmm.
I have a crystal that I can store a spell in. So I can store I can store a dimension door spell in it,
Right.
and someone else can use it.
Yeah, that'd be a good idea, but I need to be as far away from this as possible.
I'm not talking about you.
Well, right. That's what I mentioned my bracelet for. It can do something similar.
So basically, everybody can go except me, and then
Right.
Well, only 4 of us could go max, and still
But
all of us be
there's-
able to get back out with our new friends.
Right. Yeah, my bad. I miscounted. Sorry. Out of character. I miscounted. Sorry. Maybe let's see. Who do we decide to send though? I know you and Morthos definitely, and Zold.
Wait. We could send the 5. Because if someone uses your bracelet, someone uses the crystal I have. Because Dimension Door, you can take one other person with you.
Mm-hmm.
Right. I suppose.
So 2 of us would have to take, 1 child per person, and then 2 others would have to group up.
And the agent we're trying to get, right?
Well, did we want to deal with them this time, or perhaps some other time when we aren't worrying
Right.
about the children as well?
Right. Basically, you all can go except for me.
Right.
Oh.
While you're speaking, you do hear Terse look at your group. You do know you can also hire some mercenaries in town, right? Flank the type of job you're assuming planning? There are people here that are willing to help as long as you have coin.
Right.
I don't think it's so much willing to help as it is willing to die.
It's the same thing for mercenaries. I mean, there are some people that are coming into town in about a day or so if you're willing to wait. Most are entertainers, but others are spies and espionage folk. as there is a little, I believe they called it Battle of the Bands, coming in.
Jeez, that happening too.
It is.
Guys,
Alright.
under every single circumstance, we need to be out before tomorrow.
Right.
No, it's in 2 weeks. That's more than enough time. I myself am not planning to attend, but vendors and people that are going to participate are coming in
Well, then
said
if,
time.
If we go with that plan, we can have him possibly alter or merge your sword.
It's a little more resources that I'm letting you guys know.
Right.
I'm assuming you're not used to this situation.
I
We
grew up
normally
here, but
deal with things in a different manner.
yeah.
Makes sense. I mean, it's strange that you're... No, I suppose, based on the information that you've been saying out loud, although in whispers in your group, you are used to this type of work, but maybe not this type of planning. So I'd recommend... I recommend perhaps looking for other people that could assist you and mitigate things for you. Either that or make sure you're able to run and leave.
Meat shields.
Meat shields, yes. I mean, from time to time, that's why we acquire networking connections here. I'm sure Bob has made mention of this to you lot. He has not, except for Marthos, and Marthos told no one. But Terst doesn't know that.
Yes, but that would leave a money trail for them to follow.
Tiffany then states, you do realize that's also why the nobility have been using shells, right? That way, if they do have and line pockets, it's not easily traceable thanks to the money system now. So as long as you have some actual change instead of trinkets, you more or less would be fine and untraceable. So long
So
as
if
no
we
one's
gave
willing
them-
to rat themselves out.
That's the only fear I have.
Well, you could always exchange your shells. Well, you would need to exchange monetary value of items for actual monetary value.
Personally, I would prefer to keep as few people involved with this as possible.
That would make sense, making sure your team is as small and less collateral damage as possible.
Right.
Well, there are ways of getting people to talk.
Mostly, yes, but as long as you form a contract with the Fey Inc., it should be fine. But I'm not exactly sure how into the black market you want to go.
But like I said, Morthos, if you wanted to, since we're doing it, we might be doing it this way. You now have the option to possibly merge your sword with that sword, or whatever we plan to do with it. Seeing as
Terst does
how we-
state, we're just giving you options. Feel free to do what you want.
Appreciate it.
It's the least we can do for some newcomers.
Surprisingly, I've never been here before.
It's invite only, I'm afraid. I'm assuming one of you got invited and the rest showed up.
Yeah.
It doesn't seem like you're strangers, is all I'm saying.
Right.
That's all he says.
Well, what should we do? What do you guys think?
Your plan seems
Cause-
solid enough. Honestly, they're just giving you extra options if you decide to choose them. It's all, honestly, they were trying to do. What if you
'Cause
decide?
honestly, with that sword added to your sword, Marthos would be really strong.
That's true, but you're
Agreed.
also, then relying on the 24-hour wait, and things can change within 24 hours.
Well, I meant
In other
like,
words, a dogma saying don't do it.
I'm telling
Right.
you that time does matter.
well, I mean, I was just saying it's like, cause the fact is, Q's not going with the group tonight at all.
Well, then she would have the time to have it reforged.
Right. That's what I'm trying to. That's what I was saying. Since Q's taking a step back and not participating, she would have the ability to get the either reforge it into a hammer for her, or merge it, take your weapon and have it merged and just give your weapon back to you when we meet up again.
I can't do that.
Oh, well then,
My weapon is my focus.
right. Well then it would be the reforge of the sword, if that's up with it. I mean, that's just an option. I mean, we can take now since I'm gonna still be in the city.
Kind of. Not all of it, but some of it.
I mean, it's not like we can spend it other places, so
That's
So
true.
did we want to reforge the sword then?
unless you can turn it into a spell scroll or a book or something, Ray doesn't care about it.
So
I'm down for whatever. I'm not using the sword.
Morthos.
I already told you there's no point in me using it.
All right.
Well then,
So-
I guess I'll try and get him to reforge it to work with me.
All right. From what I've gathered, Q is going to stick around, stay, and make sure that she acquires a new weapon and making sure that there's still a tie to the city if you guys bolt out. The rest of you are going to acquire on Zold's plan and speak with the supervisor of the boss of the incorporated A&R robotics company firm. I'm just using words at this time. In the meantime, the rest of the team is going to snatch and grab, because that's basically what you're trying to do. And then bolt out of the said city with Q's connections. Am I wrong in this?
I think we were going to come back, well, leave after the appointment with the boss, and then come back in new disguises as like
So
a
that-
tour.
Yeah, so that they don't, not as a tour, but you get the gist.
Well,
Mhm.
we could get in there with the tour again.
Not when you're meeting the boss.
Yeah,
You can
No,
come in
with
as different people,
disguises.
but you wouldn't
the
be
next day.
touring.
because the tour stops at 3.
Yeah,
So they'd
But I
be
meant-
keeping an eye on you and making sure you don't touch. But as long as you're not like actively breaking things, you should be fine. But yes, Ray is correct. Changing appearances so you don't burn these just yet.
Yeah. Or we could, instead of meeting with the boss, quote unquote, change disguises now. Y'all go back now. Get the kids out. And we go sooner rather than later when we still have access to the kids. Because we don't know what will happen tomorrow.
Right. Zen then states, I mean, if we don't want to get them out of the city just yet, we can also bring him to the orphanage.
I'd rather get them out of the city quick. Because we don't need that heat.
Makes sense.
yeah. I think once we get them out of the building, we're getting them out of the city.
All right. With a plan in motion and a new blade ready to be set, Bob just basically now he would come over and walk it towards you. Firearm. He knows what firearms are. He comes over and, with proper gun etiquette, he hands it over back to Zold. All right, should be done. Don't pistol whip anyone with it unless you really want to. Don't hit rocks with it unless you really want to. Don't shoot anyone with it unless you really want to. But other than that, everything should be fine.
Thank you, Monsieur.
Yeah,
Right.
and then I'd like to reforge, if you can, this and the Holy Avenger into a and rework it if you have that ability.
I do not have that ability. He winks.
I wink right back at him.
I don't know what that means. He then also looks towards Morthos, but not Morthos. Did she steal that from you, by the way?
I've never seen that. And I will wink.
He winks. You're catching on. He takes the blade and goes, oh, wait. He gives it back. Are you paying now or over a course of time?
I'll pay now.
Right. He looks towards Morthos. Do you remember the price I gave you?
Mm-hmm.
Can I interest you on a payment plan?
And
1,200.
yes,
All right.
1,200.
I'll give
Very
you,
good. Noble
that's
price, blah, blah,
$1,000.
blah. I'll make it up to 1,250 gold.
I'll give him that.
No, okay. He takes the blade and then goes back to Sally. Sally, we have work. We just finished the gun. We got paid. And that's the end of that conversation.
Also, shouldn't they have more work anyway? The rest of the stuff that they had in queue that Zold jumped.
Yes.
So why is she up here slacking?